Okay, I think we made it today as well, board. Welcome to this live stream, where we once again are going to talk about some classification bridges. And today it is composite classification bridge, which means, in general, to give some meaning to the relation that you're adding. And with me, as always, hello, board.
Hello, the internet. This one is a good one. I think this is a very usable pattern, as I always say. But we have a lot of examples of clients that are using this today. And when you say describing a relation or giving meaning to a relation, let's take a look at maybe an example. So let's say you have books as a product, right? A White Walker memoir, which is Didrik's favorite book. You might have contributors to the book, right? And in many cases, maybe you just want to have a relation to all of the persons that have contributed. That's fine. That's our first design pattern with semantic classification bridge. But here with the composite classification bridge, we have a relation which is composed of both a role definition and a relation to a person in this case. And what you see here is that you can have multiple contributors. Two of them are authors, and there's two illustrators in this example. So this is essentially what we want to achieve here, is to give meaning or describing the relation between the book and the persons that are contributing to the book. This makes it more descriptive. You can enrich your product storytelling with who is the illustrator. Maybe you want to find other books that are illustrated by that person, for example, so you can use it for searching, filtering, faceting, and all those good things. Okay, should we take a look at how this works, perhaps?
I think that's a good idea.
We have prepared, so this is some data modeling Didrik did some time ago for book here, and maybe you can help me explain here, because here I see I have the Hobbit, but I've got 4 different books here.
Yes, so of course this is what we call variant, so it's the same book but different variants of the same book. In our case, we've added attributes of, okay, what kind of variant is it? Is it a paperback book, pocket, maybe audiobook, and so on. Hence why I have different variants. And this is one of the cases where each of the different variants might have different contributors. So often the author is the same, but in this case, it might be that the narrator is something that you just apply for the audiobook, an example. Because it doesn't make sense to have a narrator maybe on a paperback book, because that's probably you that is reading or are reading the book.
Or the illustrator, as we have here for the paperback, versus a narrator, as you say, on the audiobook. And it basically enables you to define, let's start from scratch here with a hardcover, saying that, okay, it's Tolkien, he's the author, right? And then we have, I think it's Rob, is it? That is the illustrator in this book. I might be wrong. That is not the point.
Exactly. No, and of course, this is one way of modeling it, but you could also argue that you could have one person have multiple roles. And in that case, instead of having a selection where it's just 1-to-1, you can only choose one role per person. You could consider enabling having checkboxes. What is the role of this person on this book?
For example, you have to select one, but you can select multiple roles. That's another example here. Okay. Let's take a look at how the shape would be set up here, right? So here we have an example of. So we've shown this before, but it's a shape of a product type book. We have some components on the product level, but we're interested in the variant level because it's on the different editions of the book that contributors vary in this case. And here we have exactly what Didrik was talking about, where we have, it's a repeatable chunk with a relation to a contributor. So it's only one contributor, and it's a quick select from the contributors folder so that it pops up in the UI. It's handy. And here's the role definition. And this is a quite straightforward example where we have a selection component. So it's basically an enum where you have author, narrator, and illustrator defined. And here you need to make a selection editorially because we've said mean max 1, 1, which means you have to have 1 and exactly 1. But what you said, Didrik, we can alternatively enable minimum 1, but that you can select more. And quick demo of that would be, I can reload this. We change the definition of the contributors. And here we are able to say that Tolkien is actually an illustrator and also a narrator, if that was the case for this session of or for this book or audiobook or whatever property you're working with. So that is, in essence, the composite classification bridge design pattern. We see this being used quite often, and you can also have other examples, right? It's not only for books. I'm not sure if you have some other examples we could talk about, Didrik.
We could talk about materials, for example. In like a jacket, what's the inner material of the jacket and what's the outer material of the jacket? So books is, of course, just one example. But it's always, as we always say, you do you.
And if you want to take it further, like furniture, so oak frame, wood upholstery, steel legs, right? Mm-hmm. So that you can describe the different parts of a product, for example. You can have surface finish, top finish, edge finish, if you're talking to like tabletops. And it could be, let's say, electronics. It could be charge for power, cable for data, strap for carrying, right? So that you can relate to accessories and say what they're for. So here you have a lot of flexibility, but in the end, it's all about describing the relation between the book and the, in this case, person, but it could be material, could be finish, it could be light sensitivity, it could be different descriptions and different properties that you're adding to your product. So that's this design pattern. We will do another live stream next week. So if you're following on LinkedIn, you should follow Crystallize. And what should they do if they're on YouTube, Didrik?
Oh, it's like they say on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.